All right. Ball chair backwards because I'm feeling the mood. So, Queen, excellent. This is the Flow8 by Behringer. So Behringer sent it to me, and it's not out. It's not out anywhere yet, but I've got it, and I had to get the APK because I'm using an Android phone, because this is a mixing console, a Bluetooth-controlled digital mixer designed for basically novices or people who are going to do podcasts and things like that. And this is not my area of expertise, but I've been hammering at it for like days, and I think I've got like a very, like, you know when they put the horse blinders on? I have a very forward conscious thing that I'm gonna be able to like. All right. Okay, so phones. Everybody's got them, but nobody knows how to use them. Well, no. Okay, so it's like you could like to move the dial, and then that dial moves there, and it's like, oh, and then you can move this one out. Oh, this is cool. Okay, and then you can basically, if you know what a mixer is, a mixer takes signals from different locations. And I'm not, by the way, going to mix in. I was gonna mix it all in. No, this is cool to look at, but nightmare to edit. So I'm not doing it. I actually don't have this plugged into the computer. There's only one input on the back, and it's a USB. And that's so you can use this as your interface. You can use this as an interface to your computer to get your microphones and things. And for obviously, if you're doing like a podcast or something like that, you could use it as your inputs. I'm just trying to get it to be used to show you what the basics are, because it's too much. My brain, and I got to go over a couple. There's a couple flaws, mostly concerning noise floor in the headphone and speaker outputs. But that's only if you get your levels wrong. But it's easy to get your levels wrong because you see we're on main, and it's showing us that up, and we've got our. By the way, I want to fucking. Can we get this volume knob on every device? Every device? Because I'm super in the mood for a volume knob with an LED. And it isn't just following it. It's like half of it. So you spin one whole rotation, we'll only get it up about half. Which is, please, audiophile companies, get on that shit. So as you can see, we are on main. It's showing us what we've got going on here. There's no like faders here for left and right. So I have these XLR inputs for 3 and 4, which are coming off a Geshelli Labs Enog Pro DAC, which is what's giving me Great Gatsby is coming in through this. And you get 3 and 4. But 3 and 4 are not left and right. 3 or 4 are just 3 and 4. As far as it's concerned, it's mono. You got to go into the app where you can then press the balance, and you get this screen for each one of the inputs. But wait, so you get your gain, your low cut, your balance, your compensation, and then your actual level that you're set to. So if I lower that, you can see that level goes down. But here's the problem. I can set this, and that doesn't move. I was hoping it moved, like beyond all hope, because there are like professional mixing boards where you're like, when you're going to record Michael Jackson in the 80s, you hit the button and like 500 sliders automatically move. So the problem with that is if you adjust something on your phone, for whatever reason you're doing things, it doesn't move here, and you move it again, and then it has to take back over, and then you've got it. And you also get a very, very basic 4-band EQ combo. You can mute, you could solo it. Where's the solo light? There's solo light? I could have sworn there was a solo light. I've got a lot to talk about, and this is going to be rambling. Bear with me. I'm going to try to get this done in like 20 minutes, because any more than that, my head will literally explode. So this is under the main output. If I switch to monitor 1 or monitor 2, which is right here or here, which doesn't switch when I press the button here, that is still app controlled. So monitor 1, all those dials are down. So see, I could take them over, but it's not actually playing anything. Because now we're in monitor 1, which is not the mains. This is a lot. And it's weird that it like, I get it. People want to use their phones, and here's the reason, because you can save a preset. If I have the dual mic set up with the DAC input and I'm outputting to a thing, I could go into the app and I could literally say, and get the exact snapshots library. You take a snapshot of your settings, your volumes, your gains, everything that's perfectly adjusted. You can save the perfect state, come back, hook everything back up, boop, and you're back to that. And without having to move the dial, because yes, we can move all the dials. Look at all the dials moving on the app. But they don't have to be. These are there for sheer convenience. Like, there's almost no reason to have a physical body to this thing. You just need a rack of plugs and a good app. Probably a tablet. I wouldn't try to do it. It has these little rubber pegs here to hold your phone. I should probably describe the unit before I get completely fucking lost in the software. Which, even though it's beta, well, it's going to come out soon. So even though it's beta, does work remarkably well. I haven't had it crash or anything. We have got two XLR inputs that are 48 volt capable microphone inputs, which is why I have my dual Marantz MPM 3000 microphones on it. And it was very weird listening to myself in stereo. I'm currently wearing, by the way, the Sivga Phoenix, because actually, there's not just because it was down here and convenient, because I wanted to know the noise floor. And these are super frucker efficient. And if I can hear, then, you know, there's noise floor. With a mixer, with a pro mixer like this, or I say pro mixer, but that has nothing to do with it. With a mixer like this, the cost is not going to still give you something that's as clean as any of like the audiophile stuff. It's here to give you, okay, here's sound. I don't think you're buying this to enjoy music on it. You're buying it because of the convenience of all the features they've got piled on. So back to what I was talking about. Left and right microphone inputs. Then you have a left and right just instrument or line. So if there were an instrument, you'd plug your guitar into this and you'd plug your xylophone. I'm sure there's electric xylophones with XLR inputs into that. And you'd mix them in mono and you'd be fine. You also have 5, 6, 7, and 8, which can either be mono or stereo quarter-inch plugs for more instruments. So you could have like your entire band, or your xylophone band, plug into this. Then there's a foot switch, which has one or two options we'll go through in the screen, which is cool as hell. And then you have the outputs, which are XLR or monitor send quarter-inch. And I'm using XLR, and I'm using these wonderful Zeos. Link these zebra striped, super well put together Amazon Basics XLRs. I really need to buy more of these, because they're fabric. They're literally fabric zebra with look at the spring on this. Look at the spring on that. Yeah, so you're bombarded with 14 plugs on top. 14 plugs on top. And then you have these two rubber pegs that is specifically designed for, I don't know if a tablet would work. Let's see, if I stand my phone up, it should imitate a tablet. It's going to lean on the wiring at that point. Here, the phone, it doesn't really lean on the wiring. Actually, it still does lean on the wiring. But that's what it's for. So putting it there and boop, 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 boop. And now you have the 6 bank of sliders, which are all controllable, and they're pretty accurate. And you know how I know they're pretty accurate? Because when you move one, the little let me take my camera off my head so I can get a real close. Hold on. The little baby bitty tiny thing, which is a little bit bright, you can it's an interesting, it's hard to see on the camera. Actually, on the camera it's really easy to see that it's just a center glowing like dot. In real life, that's much easier to read. It's panned out. In fact, let me go into the settings. Pairing, VFX setup, brightness. I'm going to take the brightness down to 0%. Does that help us? Hope I touched the wrong thing. Actually, brightness. Yeah, bright. Well, that's for everything, though. So, I mean, like, wow, it is really blowing up the... Like, it's bright. Like, that's how it looks in real life. Like that. That is not, that is nuclear. So let's go down to like there. That makes the camera happy. 10%. Get out of that, get out of that, get out of that. So, put this back on for a second. Because I really do need to get in, like in this for you. We have, I can shut off mute, the 6 faders that are reported but not controllable. I wanted it just to move when I moved it on the app. I wanted it to move in real life. It doesn't do that. But it's not really necessary. It's as long as you know where you are and you want to go back and load. So the app itself, which this is probably terrible, I'm sorry. You could see my settings for left, right, and then these are not used. And here's, you get a giant, like as soon as you touch something you want to adjust, the whole screen turns into a giant touchpad. They've done a really good job of allowing, I can't balance that because it's set to mono. They've done a good job of allowing me to control things with the screen. Probably one of the most accurate like screen touch things. So we're on monitor 1. Here's our monitor outputs. We can do a 9-band EQ on the monitors. I am using the iLoud MTMs because I haven't used them in a while and I paid $700 for them and I'm gonna get them the fuck out. So here we have a limiter, which I actually didn't find until just this second. And I love, look, I'm just touching some random part of the screen and dragging it. Like you don't have to follow the curve, you just touch it and move. It's very intuitive as far as that's concerned. Nothing seems out of place. Can I flatten that without? Oh yeah, just get close to the center and it just pops back in. Back. So anything you might want to do, and I got to be careful. You also have to turn on 48 volt. I'll put this back on for a second. One of the things that was fucking blowing my mind, I was trying to get this thing to work without the app. And it's basically impossible. It's not what it's for. Like I was like, all right, they sent me a thing, then it just happens to have an app and can use your phone. No. It's for your phone or tablet, either Apple or Android. It's for that because the 48 volt, which is indicated here, there's a solo light, the 48 volt 1 and 2, clip indicator all the way down to 54. And these will not turn on unless you're in the app and you tell it. You have to define what the input is. So input 1, hold to toggle 48 volt, gain, low cut, compensator level. This is exactly the same on all the inputs, I think, except for 48 volt. You obviously can't do that. So let me hit the settings. Configure inputs, which shows you all the inputs, and it shows when they're plugged in, which is kind of awesome. So if I unplug one of these, I have to I can hide it. So it doesn't actually sense that. I'm just remembering it going hidden and then it unplugs the actual plug. But it shows you, and you could change icons and rename it if you wanted to. Here's everything that's going on. Showing 48 volts is turned on. Choose input preset, dynamic microphone, condenser microphone, line input, bass guitar. So you can do House of Patronage. Big Daddy just asked me something in House of Patronage. Feel free to join the $10 Patreon tier to get into the House of Patronage and pop up on my phone during reviews. You could be a star. What? Pasta? Hold on. Pasta just said a thing. What? She's about to stream Spyro with her titty out. What? That's... All right, moving on. Pasta's live streams on Twitch. Snapshot library. So, see, I don't want to... I've done a few and Big Daddy. Preferences. So here's some basic stuff. With the app, you get to do 2 types of pairing. You get to pair the app, which is a low speed data, back and forth. Or you get to pair also with audio. So this becomes a Bluetooth receiver for audio off your phone so that you can use that in the mixer itself, which is wild to think about. So you now have instruments coming in, microphones coming in, monitors going out, headphones going out, and Bluetooth connecting to it, sending audio into it, and the Bluetooth is also connected to it, controlling it, and then you have Bluetooth/USB play to main mix or to phones only, foot switch mode, FX mute or tap or snapshot up, down, so you could change things with the foot switch if you need to change your layout. Mixer app, link, independent, or layers follow. App state, app always on. And then you could do a display, decibels, and finer sliders. I put on finer sliders, and that gives me half decibel increments, which is what I was going to show you originally when I took the camera off my head, was how finite the controls are, because everything you do on this unit is displayed on a little screen. And it's a cute little screen. It's maybe a little bit too cute. Mixer snapshots. Here's all your snapshots you could just load and boom, 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 with the library, and you configure the inputs. Get out of the setup. Get out of the setup. Get this back to like normality. Slide that over. So basically what you would do with this
that ain't my name. We're young in love. In short, we had fun.
Is plug everything you want into it. As many mics, instruments, set up your foot switch, and then configure it all the way you like it. And then on the app, turn on every option you want, snapshot it, and then make another snapshot of something else. So, like, I don't have a purpose for this in my life, because I live alone, because it's so lonely here. But if I was able to get together like DMS and Josh and do like podcasting stuff, this would be great for that. I would, because I can't use more than 2 powered mics, so I'd have to get a separate mic power for more inputs. I gotta have like 4 mics in this. Zeos in the future, link to a 48 volt phantom mic power. That's a thing, by the way. I have one, and you could just run 4 mics if you really needed to, and then you could output with this into a headphone distribution. Everyone could hear everything. I should probably mention the FX buttons. So you have the ability to obviously put effects, even though everything's been shortened to the letters F and X. So you got ambience, perk rev number 2, perk rev number 3, guitar revision. So percussion, guitar, chamber, room, concert, church, cathedral, temple, stadium, flanger, soft choir, warm choir, deep choir. Can I get deep choir to play through the speakers is the question. Hold on. I don't know if I can actually push that through there. See, now I've lost control of that. I don't want to lose control and get a copyright claim. So, holy God, this thing, I thought I could grasp it in time for this review, because I've had it for a couple weeks, and I hooked it up maybe 5 days ago, and then I got the app working, and Bluetooth connecting to it, and I've got this button, which has the lights next to it, for app and audio. I didn't even finish touring the unit. Holy God. I apologize to Behringer for being absolutely out of my mind. At least he's got a cute wallpaper. 6 things. Mute or mute long, which blinks all the LEDs on the top, which everything's muted now. And this, oh, by the way, the backlight for this is also RGB. So it's usually white, but if it's muted or something is changing specifically, it'll change the color of the backlight of the LCD to indicate what you're doing. When you do FX, it turns purple. These are purple buttons. The monitors, monitor 1 and monitor 2, are normal, and then it doesn't change for main, and the main lights up. How's it coming out on the camera? I gotta see how it looks. Yeah, you could see it in the dark. That's better for you guys seeing it. So we've got some indicators up here that do offset and clip, and I have not had a chance to clip anything yet. I apologize. I will get on to that. See, I gotta go up, and then you can bring it down. Do you see how accurate that is? One thing I don't know how to fix, and I don't know if it's like something that needs fixing, but it annoys me, is the tap indicator here, which is the tap of tempo. So if you're like, I want to go to town and I know what my tap is. So FX tempo there. You can tap it into whatever rhythm you want, but I can't get that to turn off. Like, just don't be blinking. Like, I've set it to really slowly blink. Like, if I just keep going at it, and it'll eventually just go to like super slow tap mode, but it's always blinking like always blinking, and I want to punch something, and I don't think there's an option in here to turn that off. So no matter what you do, day or night, the tap indicator's gonna blink. Just hopefully you can slow it down so it doesn't drive you mad. So here's our screen. We should go through this now that I know that it's looking good. So let's get out of menu. It usually shows the last thing you've interacted with will be up on the screen. So there's line 7 of 8, which we're dealing with 5 and 6. When you switch between main and monitors, it shows you the different levels of that. Deep choir delay. Get out. See, now I don't even know if I can get... Like, there's music is playing. Music's playing on there. Hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got this. Okay. Can I just... Almost worth it alone for that. When you adjust the headphone volume, you get phones. Basically, what I figured out with the noise floor is as long as your headphones are able to be powered with still negative 25 dB on the output, you don't really notice any noise floor. Same thing with the monitor outs. Getting up, like, as you can tell when I'm pushing this up, I'm about halfway there. And we're getting to the point where loud. If I was to pause the music, there's a slight chance there's going to be a hiss. But if there's music playing, you won't hear anything. Not at this level. Only left channel is currently playing. Now we have stereo. Oh, I probably should be playing that much music. God damn it. Okay, anyway, so back to the menu on this. We have the Bluetooth USB, which is a separate volume control for the Bluetooth audio, or USB audio. Then you have your phone's control. Then you have your menu here, which we hit menu. You get pairing options, FX effects. Then you have your snapshot loading, so you can do that without the app. And then the setup. The setup is real basic. It's brightness, foot switch, factory reset, and info. So we're not interested in that. But, okay. Yeah. Basically, this is a rotary encoder, so you spin it and press. Spin it and press to do any of the options inside of it. Whether it's just, let's see what the effects. FX select. FX1. Deep choir church. Decay. Here's our decay settings. Way up. Decay local. Okay, so let's see if that actually works. See, I'm not using it as an instrument, so it's probably not going to put FX on it unless I turn it up. Oh God, don't blow things up. I will say that I did have 1 or 2 really scary moments with this, and I'll have to explain those to you right now before we move on. So you hit main, and you can control the main volumes. Now, getting these to work in the app is pretty much easy. You see when they're working, you see what they're getting indicated, and you set them up, and then you can go. If you hold the main button, it says gain, hold. What it does is it allows you to do the trims. So your input's a little low. Your input's a little low coming out of whatever amp or DAC. And I do have this on the 2 out of 3. And so you'd hold this. It glows green, and then you're allowed to adjust the bias. So let's bring this up to 0 decibels. We'll bring this one up to 0 decibels. While I'm holding it, it's green. You let go, and now that's set. That's now at 0. These can go back down to 0, and you're using them, and that's fine. I've had it where I've held that gain, and it's at plus 40 decibels just immediately. And I'm like, what? And I'm not like, what? The speakers are like, what? Because I had sources playing. Be very careful if you have sources playing. If you buy this unit and you hold down the gain adjustment because you're trying to adjust the input gains, it sometimes defaults to plus 40 decibels, which at 0 is fine, but at 40 more is not fine. So those are the only little missteps that this unit has had is like, oh god, that 40 is bad. Make goddamn sure nothing is playing before you start messing with that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about it is it's very small and put together super well. And the app, I almost choked because when I first got it, I was looking in the Play Store because the manual says here's the manual, which is actually pretty, it's in every language from English to Estonian and Italian. It's like, go to the App Store for Google or whatever and just download the app. And I looked. I swear, I think Behringer is an app company because there's an app for every single unit they sell. And I feel like it would be better off served if they had one main app. Then you chose the mixer or unit that you're trying to control with the Behringer app or the I forget the actual company that owns them, but Music Tribe. Just there's like a million Music Tribe things. If there was just one like father app, and then you could just say, oh, by the way, I have the Flow8, then it would just add it to that app. But you have to get an individual app for every one of their units. So the Flow8 one here, I had to get sent the APK. But I don't rag because my phone has been touched a lot. Units like this that make you touch your phone, it's the bane of my existence. Actually, how did I just do that? It was just vertical. I didn't think it was even possible to go vertical. I might have just been freaking out and rotating. Because I don't have my, if I set my horizon lock. Okay, so mixer. Here's stage, by the way, showing you everything. 31 beats per minute. Can I shut it off in here? Or am I just going to set the beats per minute there? I could edit the stage. I could rearrange. Like, you could rearrange how you want things. Even though they're plugged in and they're permanent, you can rearrange how the stage looks for actually being on a stage. Like if you got 4 mics hooked up instead of just, you can move this around. This guy's on my right and this guy's over there in the corner. So this is some wild shit. And you can do grid align and stop being an ass. Hit done. I forgot it did that. I've been staring at this app for too long. So you get your mixer and your stage and you tap that and then you could adjust all your things here again, and then you could also do solo, and then it's solo lights comes on, and then you're listening to the solo on either your mixers or your headphones. Oh god, the main out level, main out balance. Can I get this main out to 0? Hold on. Do that. Limiter, I'm gonna bring the limiter down to 8. So now yeah, no, it's an interesting unit. Let's put it that way. I wish I had I don't know if I could ever use this in my day-to-day, even live streaming like I do twice a week on Twitch, Wednesdays and Sundays. Like, I don't know if I'd ever have to use this. I'm more of a walk around and do things sort of the Twitch streamer versus I sit down, have a game going, have communications on another computer on Discord or Ventrilo. It's always Ventrilo. I love Ventrilo. It just sounds better. But actually, Discord has gotten better since I remember. It used to turn everyone into robots. But stuff like this, where you could actually like interact and see 100% what's going on, and then snapshot it to where you're happy, and then reload that snapshot. So you don't have to go back and fiddle with the options. Oh, it's the way I exactly want it. Picture. So, yeah. If you have one of the, if you're planning on buying one, if you think this looks great, because here's the thing, I don't have a usage case. Someone watching this is like, oh my God, Zeos, didn't you understand what you could do with that? Don't you understand what this thing is capable of? Not in particular. So please enlighten me in the comments. Oh, I will say, if I did have a couple quarter inches plugged in there in the 5 through 8 or the foot switch, I'm pretty sure that would prevent me from having the phone nicely sit there. Just something to point out. I didn't really consider that if I would plug the headphone into the foot switch, which don't do that. But yeah, no, that makes your phone sort of like stand up. Possible design flaw? I guess I'm gonna have to link a phone holder so you could have it next to you. So yeah. Thank you, Behringer, for sending me the Flow8. I am allowed to keep this. I have to figure out where I can use it. I need to figure out where I can use it where those dials are my day-to-day. Because it doesn't sound bad on speakers. On headphones, I'm sure you could do better. But you could also just run this out at low power to another amplifier and then use that as your amplifier, and then you'd be golden. Thoughts. Wallpaper, highly compressed. I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to re-download that and edit it. That's available in the description. Links to this. It should be sometime in November this comes out. And I'm basically going to give it to my patrons. Hi, patrons. Thank you for supporting me. Hi, people on Subscribestar. I love you guys, too. They're watching this and going, well, Zeos, we can't buy it. And I'm going to be like, I know. I'm waiting for Behringer to say when it's going to be live. And then you'll be able to buy it wherever the hell Behringer is sold. Speaking of Patreon and Subscribestar, see these reviews early. Ask me questions on platform and participate in the yard sales with the $5 tier. And the $10 tier is the annoying, but I love them because they pay me $10 a month to get in the behind-the-scenes private Telegram chat and tell me about my shower, and they want to be in my shower. And it's kind of weird, but it's kind of kinky. But they're all mostly bearded audiophile dudes who want to know tube advice. And I'm like, my shower, though. So $10 gets you into the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat. Don't forget to check out Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forums, which is almost too big for me to even comprehend. Like, I have a pretty big audience, but every time I put a video out, it's like 8,000 people watch it over, a day. But there's 10,000 people all the time active on Hi-Fi Guides forum. That blows my mind. Yeah, wallpaper, links, support, forums. I'm gonna sneeze. Goodbye, everyone. Kill Bill Volume 1.